Dawson Netz.
You've been in a lot of these regionals in your career. What's it like? What do you maybe tell some of your teammates who might be experiencing this for the first time?
Yeah, anything goes. I think everyone's fired up. It doesn't matter if you're playing a mid-major, Power 5. Everyone's just trying to survive. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you just got to stay in every single game. You never know if you're going to have to win it in the ninth because, like I said, anything goes.
So you and Trevor would be the only people, I think, since the 50s and 60s at Arizona that play in 4 postseasons.
Wow.
I mean, does that kind of point to how difficult it is to get this far?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just very, very thankful guys even put us in this situation. I mean, we pray before every single game, and we've just prayed to be in this situation. And, yeah, just very thankful that we can even play in the postseason, especially in front of our home crowd. We're just really fired up about it.
There had been some moments this season where things were not looking good. Maybe that New Mexico State game, you guys are 10-13. It's a rough game. How did the confidence stay there even though the results weren't showing?
Yeah, I think it's because we had lofty goals and we always had our eyes set on something higher. And when you're playing at our level, everybody's good, you know? Like they're gonna roll into here, teams are gonna be fired up, and you're just not gonna have a good day. So biggest thing is to just turn the page, I guess, and just focus on what's next. We've been really good at being resilient and not gloating too much over that.
Did you pitch in all 3 of the GCU games?
That's a good question. 2 for sure.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
So, like the perspective of whereas maybe your hitters weren't facing all their best pitchers, like their starting pitchers, but you were facing their best hitters.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you remember from the lineup they have?
Yeah, I mean, they're just a really good squad. Hard ABs. They're always trying to beat us, you know, crosstown rivals. So, not taking anybody for granted in their lineup and going after them like anybody else, you know.
Is there help to having familiarity with their hitters?
For sure, and I think that's a two-edged sword. You know, they've seen us a lot, we've seen them a lot, so we've both got a pretty good scouting report on both sides.
Dawson, as a relief pitcher who's had a chance to sit back and watch comeback after comeback after comeback, I mean, what have you noticed about this team and the way that they operate offensively in the ninth inning?
Yeah, I think it's just ultimately that we're never out of any game. Especially being able to play in front of our home crowd. Everyone's going to be fired up, and I think we feed off of their energy. So if anybody here is watching this, let's fill this place out because we really feed off of you guys. So let's get this place packed out, and let's get the juice box going.
I guess when you got into that ninth inning the other night, was there any other thought that here we go again, we're going to win another one?
Yeah, and it was actually really nice too because it felt like a home game. Our fans travel so well, and everybody was just fired up on their feet, and we could really feel that. Yeah, I think it's just from our culture on the team, just being really strong. Everybody's super bought in. Everybody just wants to win. Nobody's selfish. So we're really just focused on going as far as we can as a group, and that's not easy to do, especially when you got guys that are thinking about the draft every year. But we've been really good and gelled really well.
When you decided to come back for another year, were you hoping that something like this would happen?
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's everybody's dream.
Were you expecting to be in the top 16 after having won the conference tournament and the regular season, or would you say you were surprised to see it?
I will say, since being here for so long, I think you really see that anything can happen and not really having any expectations, but just focusing on that game that's right in front of you and playing it as best as you possibly can.
How would you describe the overall pitching development this year under Kevin Vance that you've been part of?
Yeah, it's been very structured. I think it's nice that everybody has a plan. Everybody knows how to use their stuff. They know what their arsenal looks like, how to approach different hitters, and just ultimately what works best for each guy.
It's been a lot different than what you've experienced in previous years?
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate to be under some really good coaches and learned a bunch of philosophies, and I think that's helped me personally just really flourish this year and figure out what works best for me. But Coach Vance has been awesome, and he's done a really great job in making sure every guy knows what they need to do to get the best out of themselves.
Dawson, when Chip pulled you guys into the training room before the selection show, just describe the message that he gave to you.
Yeah, he just wanted us to know how special this is, to really cherish this moment. I mean, the season's flown by, and he's been so supportive. He's really let us older guys take the reins and just kind of figure out what we want this squad to look like and how we want to play, and yeah, ultimately
How
that.
have you guys, as an older guy, how have you managed the clubhouse? How have the veterans done that?
Yeah, I just think being very understanding, not being super emotional. Like, if I have a bad outing, I can't get super emotional because I know guys are looking towards me for leadership, and I know Garen and Emo can attest to that also, but just keeping a level head and always focusing on the next game.
Is there one or two guys that, if you have to pull a younger teammate aside and send a message, are there one or two guys that generally do that?
You know, I think we're all very bought in to what we want to do and what we want our culture to look like. So I wouldn't say there's a specific group of guys, but I think a lot of guys have mutual respect for each other, where if anyone does and says something like that, everybody will listen to that.
What's been your role in this whole banana revolution thing that's going on here?
I think it all stems from GTW, greatest team wins, and that's just kind of been our motto this whole time, so really focused on that.
Yeah, I heard that you were the one that requested extra bananas to be picked up during the Oregon State game.
Yeah, you know, it's just really helpful to help rally all the guys behind it, and I don't know, everyone just loves them. So
Yeah. Just it became a symbol when?
that's
Was it that ASU game when you guys started just doing that to Clark, or was it before that?
probably around then, I would say. But yeah, it's really caught fire, and everyone's bought in.
Who coined the greatest team wins again?
Greatest team wins. That's our trainer, Ben Kometz. Yeah.
Maybe you can only speak for yourself in this regard, but the bullpen really wasn't that taxed
Mhm.
over the weekend. Sometimes, like when you go through a tournament like that, like guys are pitching every day or
Yeah.
whatever. You got the bullpen game on the front, and then you got great length from Clark and Cam. So how would you say the guys are feeling physically heading into the regional?
Yeah, like you said, I think having a solid and robust starting rotation like that goes deep into games frequently allows us to stay really fresh when other squads are pretty banged up right now. So we're all feeling really good and really excited.
Great. Thank you, Dawson.
Thank you.